it's the curse of the game developer, right? It makes it almost impossible to appreciate games because you just analyze everything and you see the little mistakes they made. I would have made this differently and blah blah blah. But there are these few games like Mario Galaxy. Okay, playing Mario Galaxy, it took me back like 10 years where games were magic and wonderful again, and I wasn't like analyzing the way the camera worked. I was just playing a game, nothing about everything. That doesn't happen a lot.
Well, and I think the camera's a good segue into your game, into Fez.
Because
right,
I'm kind of sidestepping that problem.
Right.
It's 3D, but it's not, and the camera is
right.
Basically, I wanted to make a game that would have a very, very low level of resistance between the player and the mechanics, and all the gameplay is like D-pad plus one button for everything, and then the shoulder for rotation. A game that basically people who stopped playing games when they got overcomplicated in 3D could still enjoy.
Right. Even though it introduces a new mechanic.
Yeah, and that's why the first level is so basic, because it can be a bit daunting to wrap your head around that concept at first, but that's one of the reasons why I'm using so many like classic gaming cliches in the game.
Yeah.
Like you can clearly say that the little vase is from Zelda, and there's a lot of Mario in there, because I wanted to make the game super like inviting and comfortable, and like a warm, happy place.
Yeah.
So that the weird, crazy new mechanic wouldn't be that much a big deal if let's say, okay, I don't want to diss Crush, because obviously
people are going to compare it.
Very similar mechanic.
Yeah.
But Crush had this weird artistic direction where it was in a world that was like dark and damp and like not inviting at all. Like I didn't want to spend time in that world.
Right. Well, the whole theme of the game is that he's insane. Yeah. He's trying to cure his insanity.
And all that. But I don't know, it wasn't a nice place to be in. I mean, if you're gonna spend like 5, 6, or 10 or 20 hours in a game world,
right?
I want it to be a nice
place.
It be nice? Yeah. I mean, dark is gritty, is it's nice and all that, but I don't. I like blue skies, green grass.
Right.
Bring back the blue skies.
Right. Well, it worked for Katamari.
Yeah,
which
totally.
you already said is one of your big three.
Yeah.
So.
Even worked for Paper Mario.
Don't get me started on that game. Yeah. I mean, obviously, when we posted the teaser, the entire internet went, "Oh, Paper Mario!" I was so excited about that game because obviously I wanted to see what they were doing with the mechanic. And, I was excited because it was like a decent-looking Wii game, which at the time was a bit of a rarity.
Pretty big thing.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a reason why the level in Fez are 100% vertical, because the rotation, right? It's always like about as wide as the screen. Whereas in Mario, they kept a horizontal, linear, classic Mario level. So when you rotate, it's just this big, boring, bland corridor.
It's one block.
It's one block, and anytime you get to like an obstacle in the game, the solution to any puzzle is just press A. Oh, hey, there's a door, or there's a cube there, or.
Right. Well, that's really interesting to me that you would pick a vertical level design as a solution to that kind of gimmick, because just looking at the demo that you showed us, I was just thinking, oh, well, this level's really cool because it's vertical, but I didn't assume that that's how the game was going to be designed in general.
There's going to be different parts of different levels that aren't going to be completely vertical all the time, but basically the goal of the level is to ascend, is to go up.
I wasn't even thinking about when I saw that demo or when I saw the trailer. I wasn't even thinking about, there's no enemies, there's no puzzle, besides being the puzzle moving around in the area. It wasn't even occurring to me because it was so satisfying just to see you spiral up this world, this vertical, just trying to scale the tower, the castle, wherever you went up to.
I don't know. I think it's up is a good place to go,
right?
Rather than right or left.
Or left.
Yeah.
But I think.
But you said that you are going to add those kind of elements in.
There's going to be not enemies. There's going to be dangers. There's gonna be like traps and things that try to crush you and stuff like that. But no little guy walking around and that hurts you when he fetch you. Because then I would need some kind of health system, which I don't want.
Oh, sure.
I don't want to have lives.
Right.
You're just gonna die and you're gonna restart somewhere. Something like that.
Right.
Something really simple.
Right.
It's kind of like Little Big Planet. They announced a while ago, like there is death in the game,
Right.
but it doesn't matter because
Right.
you just pop in again, and
Right.
Yeah.
I like that because the whole concept
Sure.
of we have your little lives in the corner and you fail 3 times. Oh, well, game over. Start over completely. I don't want to start over completely. Why would you make me do that?
Yeah, it's kind of an outdated arcade concept.
Yeah, but obviously there's a lot of old school and retro influences in Fez, but there are part of old school games that shouldn't be
Right.
made again. Because I mean I love all these old games, but I have like very good memories of them, which is kind of what I'm trying to do with Fez is really play with nostalgia and these warm fuzzy feeling of childhood and and everything's nice and happy. But sometimes you go back and you play those games and you're like, man, there's some serious design flaws in those games.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know any better back then.
No, of course not.
But your memory of them is very good. So
happy and fuzzy.
a game like that looks retro and feels retro, but actually sidestep a lot of these problems.
I feel like that, I've played games where the opposite has happened too. It's like I went back and played Robotron and I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Robotron was remade like 5 times in the last 5 years or
Yeah,
something like that.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still super current.
How much longer do you think you're going to be working on this game? Is it one of those things where you're just going to keep building and building and building until like it just feels right?
It feels pretty right now. Now we just need to implement more gamey mechanics and just actually then start producing new art, new levels.
Right.
We're thinking like a year, about a year,
All right.
more or less.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because we made the prototype for IGF. That was the goal.
Right.
We had 3 months. Like we decided that okay, we're gonna try to meet the deadline for IGF.
Right.
Because I was here last year and I was giving a talk, but I met all the IGF guys last year. I met Derek Yu and Jonathan Mack, and it was such an eye-opening experience. Like, really, you're like one guy and you're making this game and it's awesome. That wasn't something I was necessarily aware of. This whole indie scene.
Yeah, and
It's
it's really, I think it's come to a definite head this year
Yeah.
as well because there's so many like solo people
it's
here.
insane.
Yeah.
So many talented individuals.
It's so good, the stuff that's being made right now, and basically everybody knows everybody, and we're all super friendly, and it's great because it's like this amazing community of super creative people.
Do you think that's a community that would exist if the distribution methods didn't?
Well, there's
have these
always been
distribution-
independent developers, right?
Sure.
Forever.
Sure.
But I don't know. I just feel right now that there's this like new wave of 20-something young guys that just
Yeah.
got fed up with all the crap out there and just decided to make stuff. But because of these distribution channels, we're getting a lot more attention than we would have had like 4 years ago.
Well, maybe some of it has to do with people who can actually
Well,
put
there's
food on the table.
yeah, a lot. Well, there's that, but a lot of it has to do with the tools.
Yeah.
The tools have gotten so much better.
Just like with filmmaking and
yeah,
everything,
exactly.
It got cheaper, got
Yeah,
available.
it all has to do with the tools. The moment that 1 or 2 guys can make a game that is good, that has good production values,
Yep.
like the N guys. Like,
Yeah.
they're just in their talk
Absolutely,
today. There's like, we're not really programmers. We can program, but we're not really programmers. But I mean, we had the tools to make the game, and they made this simple little game. It was all about gameplay and it works. So it's becoming more accessible. Stuff like Game Maker and XNA really helped us with Fez because we saved so much time with little details that would have taken a lot of time if there wasn't this whole framework there. And
Yeah, I've actually wondered about what kind of impact XNA is having. It really is that much easier to use.
stuff like wanting to add vibration to the controller. If we had to do it from scratch, it could have taken, I don't know. But because of XNA, it was a 2-minute job.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
quick.
turn on. There you go.
And have you gotten to play a lot of the other
No,
games that are here?
No, because I have a Mac, and like most of your games don't run on a Mac.
Right.
So I'm actually really looking forward to hang out in the pavilion all week just to play
cool.
those games.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
like I got to play Other Surf yesterday for the first time, and I was
It's really good.
blown away. And Petri showed me his
Crayon.
Crayon.
It's
Brilliant,
so much fun.
brilliant
It's
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I think like the big boys should be ashamed right now. That I mean, I used to work at this like video game studio in Montreal, and they would put like 10-15 people on a DS project or something, and it wasn't very good.
Right.
It wasn't very good at all.
Right.
And it's like what Reagan was saying about these studios. They want to reuse the tools, and the technology is not always adequate to what they do, but they have, you know, very tight constraints.
Right.
And then they see like this one guy or these two guys making a game that is awesome, and they probably, I hope they go like, we're doing something wrong
Right.
here.